NASA scientists say we could find extraterrestrial life forms as early as next year with the help of the James Webb Space Telescope, set to launch later in 2018. The £6 billion telescope is the successor to the Hubble telescope. It is much more powerful, and NASA scientists claim it is our best tool to date in the search for extraterrestrial life. Not only will it allow us to visually explore space, it will also more accurately measure the content of water, carbon dioxide, and other components in the atmosphere of a planet outside of our solar system. It will also be able to tell us more about the size and distance these planets are from their host stars. All of these things are key in finding an environment where life can flourish. So here are the top planets and moons that scientists suggest are most likely to harbour extraterrestrial life forms. Trappist One G. The Trappist One system is being held by NASA as a holy grail solar system in the hunt for alien life. It lies 39.5 light years from our Sun in the constellation Aquarius. Out of the 7 rocky Earth-like planets orbiting the host star, at least 3 are thought to be within the temperate zone, which is the expected temperature needed to allow life to grow, and all could have oceans. Water also being a key component needed for life. Out of the 3 planets, Trappist One G is thought to be the most exciting, as it is far enough away from the host star to avoid its harsh solar winds, which would destroy any atmosphere on the planet, but it is close enough to hold key temperatures needed for liquid water and life to thrive. Europa. Europa is a smooth ice-crusted moon of Jupiter. It is slightly smaller than the Earth's moon and is primarily made of silicate rock. It also has an atmosphere primarily composed of oxygen. The smooth, pristine surface of the moon indicates a vast ocean underneath the ice crust which could harbour life. The Hubble telescope also detected water vapour plumes, which further support this. If the oceans harbour the required chemical building blocks and the right proportion of elements to provide energy for microorganisms to grow, then life could exist on Europa. NASA studies suggest that there is indeed enough of that energy. A research team led by Steve Vance of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, found that Europa likely produces 10 times more oxygen than hydrogen, just as Earth does. They also found that as Europa has cooled over time, more and more hydrogen is generated as seawater reacts with rock in the crust. All of these processes point to Europa being a possible place for extraterrestrial life. Proxima b. Proxima b is an Earth-sized exoplanet less than 5 light-years away. It lies within the habitable zone of its host star, Proxima Centauri. In the wake of the James Webb Telescope, UK-based researchers and scientists have been running tests based on the Met Office Unified Model, one of the foremost models for studying the climate here on Earth. The team modified this model for extraterrestrial forecasting based on 2 probable types of atmosphere and possible orbits of the planets around the host star. The researchers also considered differences in the star's light output, which produces more infrared and less visible light than our Sun. The results were all very promising, although scientists will not know for sure if Proxima b has an atmosphere until they can look at it next year. LHS 1140b. This planet is 40 light-years away from Earth and is thought to be even more likely to have some form of alien life than Proxima b and Trappist One G. It is 10 times closer to its host red dwarf star, but still lies in the habitable zone, as red dwarf stars are much cooler than our Sun. The red dwarf star also emits much less high-energy radiation than other similar stars. Also, as this planet is 1.4 times the size of Earth, and it is believed it was covered in lava in its infancy, this would have protected it from the radiation damage. The lava would have fed steam into the atmosphere. These chemical reactions could have produced an abundance of water, which we all know is an essential building block of life as we know it. Enceladus. Enceladus is the 6th largest moon of Saturn. Like Europa, it has a smooth ice crust surface and an interior ocean. The ice surface makes it one of the most reflective surfaces in the solar system. Despite it looking like a frozen wasteland, scientists now believe it may have a warm ocean capable of supporting life. In October 2015, NASA's Cassini spacecraft drove through one of the water plumes on Enceladus and discovered they contain hydrogen and carbon dioxide. Scientists say that the only plausible source for the hydrogen was a chemical reaction between warm water and rocks on the ocean floor. Hydrogen can then mix with carbon dioxide to form methane. This is a strong indication that Enceladus has all the conditions needed for life to form. We know life can exist in these conditions as single-celled organisms called extremophiles have lived in hydrothermal vents on Earth for billions of years in these exact conditions. In a universe as enormous as ours, and with 20% of stars harbouring planets in the habitable zone, I personally believe that humanity will discover microbial alien life in my lifetime, and maybe it will happen next year. Even if there is only a 1 in a trillion chance of an alien civilization existing outside of our own, that would still mean that what has happened here on Earth has happened 10 billion times somewhere else at some time in our cosmic history. What do you think? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next Mystery Sphere video.